You're only a day away, and then I want to say Daddy Warbucks. So here we go again with money. Let's try to ignore that message because it just doesn't feel like the best vibe, right? Because Daddy Warbucks was a fucking dick. Until he learned how to love, but in all reality, I don't feel like he has time to. You shouldn't have to teach people how to love. It's a feeling. It's just, it's there. I don't know. Love is a waste of my time. Well, yeah, I have better things to do on this planet. Like the whole friendship thing we went through over the last year. Fucking annoying as fuck. Just finishing feeding my fiction. My plecos. I always call them plecos. My plecos. It just reminds me of The Price is Right with that Clanko game. Can you tell that was my favorite one? And then, spinning the wheel. Let me put my frozen food away. Everlasting love. Ooh, you guys be getting love songs. Oh. 90. This. Oh my gosh, there's puke on this. How did a cat even get up here? Can you guys see it? Well, you don't want to see it, but I mean, I know they can get up here. I just... Oh. Little kitty came up to eat my palm. My Kentucky plant. Alright, that's situated. I've been laying in bed for like a freaking hour. Guys. Listening to things, scrolling through things. That. Greetings, Keisha. McCoy. Sound like the real McCoys. Alright. While I clean this mess, I'm going to put on one video that I came across. A lot of them are short. This one's 4 minutes. I didn't finish watching it, but it made so much sense. Oh my God, where'd it go? This one's about never being crazy. This one makes a lot of sense too.
About awakening is realizing you were never crazy, just surrounded by people who needed you to be. Let that sit for a moment, because tonight, not tomorrow, not next week, not after another breakdown. Tonight, something irreversible is going to activate in you, and the world around you will feel it, whether they admit it or not. Now, here's the unsettling fact. According to a 2023 psychological study on social mirroring, the average person unconsciously suppresses their most authentic self just to avoid triggering the truth in someone else. Think about that. Most people are literally acting just to stay palatable, but you've always been a glitch in that system. And starting tonight, you'll stop shrinking for their comfort and start emitting the frequency they swore didn't exist. Here's where it gets funny. You ever notice how the moment you start healing and glowing, random people from 7 years ago just pop back in like unpaid extras in a Netflix series? Oh, hey, just checking in. No, you're not a check-in. You're the plot twist they never saw coming. So buckle up, chosen one. This isn't motivational fluff. This isn't spiritual cupcake talk. This is the episode where everything changes. And by the end of tonight, you're not just going to walk into a new identity. You're going to embody something they've been praying never shows up. Let's get into it. Number 1, you will become a mirror that burns, not reflects. You're not here to reflect who people pretend to be. You're here to expose what they've been hiding. And starting tonight, that's exactly what you're going to become. Not a harmless mirror, but one that burns through illusion. You won't be reflecting back their carefully built images anymore. You'll start showing them everything they've been trying to bury, their lies, their guilt, their fake confidence, their fear of being irrelevant in the presence of someone real. This shift is quiet but violent. You won't have to say much. Your energy will do the talking. Your presence will start making people nervous, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're becoming too real for their performance. And the truth is, most people aren't afraid of being judged. They're afraid of being seen. Fully, deeply, and without a filter. That's what you'll do just by walking into a room. You'll start triggering breakdowns in people who haven't done the inner work. They won't be able to explain why they suddenly feel insecure, defensive, or irritated around you. But it'll happen over and over. And that's because their masks can't survive the heat you now carry. They might call you intimidating, arrogant, cold. But what they're really saying is, you don't let me lie to myself anymore, and I hate that. You see, people are comfortable around mirrors that flatter them, but the moment that mirror starts telling the truth, they want to smash it. They'll try to twist your truth into a problem, but deep down they know exactly what you are. Proof that their carefully curated image is cracking. This is power most people don't talk about. The power to hold space so pure, so piercing, that others have no choice but to confront themselves or flee. It's not about being better than anyone. It's about carrying a level of inner clarity that turns into spiritual X-ray vision. And it's not always glamorous. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it gets you falsely labeled, misunderstood, even hated. But it's real. And tonight, that energy is going to lock into place. You're no longer just reflecting the world. You're about to melt the illusions it runs on. Number 2, you will become proof that spiritual warfare is not metaphor. It's surveillance, gaslighting, and isolation tactics. This isn't some abstract concept anymore. Spiritual warfare is real, and for chosen ones, it's never been a metaphor. It's been your life. And tonight, you're finally going to start seeing it for what it truly is. You were never just having bad luck or going through a rough patch. You were under surveillance. You were being tested, studied, and manipulated, not just by people, but by the systems they served without even realizing it. Every betrayal, every fake friend, every strange moment of isolation wasn't random. It was targeted. The tactics were subtle. They gaslit you until you questioned your own reality. They isolated you from your support systems to keep you weak. They flooded your life with distractions to keep you too tired to notice the truth. And the worst part, most of the people being used against you had no idea what role they were playing. They thought they were just moving on, setting boundaries, or doing what's best for them. But spiritually, they were pawns in a very real war over your soul. This is what happens when your energy holds something ancient and rare. When your frequency starts threatening the systems built on lies, you get marked. You don't get to walk through life the way others do. You're watched. You're tested. You're constantly forced to choose between breaking down or breaking through. And now, after everything you've survived, you're entering a stage where those patterns finally start to make sense. You're going to look back and realize that betrayal wasn't personal, it was strategic. That loss wasn't punishment, it was a push. That isolation wasn't emptiness, it was preparation. You've been trained in silence for this moment. The way you kept your head up when nobody clapped, the way you held your ground when no one believed you, the way you trusted your intuition, even when it made no sense on paper. All of that wasn't for nothing. Tonight marks the shift where the warfare around you becomes visible, not just emotionally, but spiritually, energetically, and even physically. The veil lifts, the patterns reveal themselves, and suddenly you stop feeling crazy because you start seeing the battlefield for what it truly is, and you're no longer the hunted. You're the one carrying the intel.
Tell me about the
Most terrifying thing about awakening.
Okay. So, it's so crazy. You listened to that the other day. We were just having this conversation, too, so I don't know if this is why, good morning, Tammy. This is why we, just going through, there was a couple things. Let's just see.
Once again, as June winds down, most people will miss what's actually happening. They'll treat it like just another end-of-month stretch,
This makes
never
sense to me.
realizing they're standing at the edge of one of the most pivotal energy shifts of the entire year. But for those who are even slightly awake,
We just talked about this yesterday in my read that I'm just starting to clear.
something feels off in a way that's impossible to ignore. Restlessness, emotional waves, a sense that something massive is coming but hasn't revealed itself yet. This final week of June is a pressure point, an energetic countdown where the old begins to fracture and the new prepares to break through. It's not marked on your calendar, but it's written deep in your soul. The solstice wasn't just a seasonal marker. From June 21st to the end of the month, we enter what many call the luck window, but don't mistake it for easy blessings or obvious wins. This period is filled with coded signals disguised as chaos, plans falling through, people suddenly exiting your life, opportunities evaporating just before you could grab them. I've personally lived through this shift. A promising project I had lined up collapsed overnight, and it felt something unexpected is being activated.
Don't have 5 senses. They lied to you. You have 15. Grab your notepad. You are a spirit. You live in a body and you have a soul. Let's start with the weakest of the 3, the body, because it's limited by the physical. It's ruled by the seen. Its 5 senses are sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, basic, surface level. You already know those. Now let's talk soul. This is where reprogramming starts. Your mind, what you think. Your will, your drive to act. Your emotions, what you feel. Your affections, who you feel it for. And your imagination, your ability to see what isn't visible yet. Together, that's 10 senses. This is the operating system your affirmations tap into. Now, the spirit. This is where transformation goes quantum. Prayer, speaking truth to the divine. Praise, declaring truth to your reality. Worship, aligning with the highest version of yourself. Faith, belief beyond evidence. And meditation, pure focus. So you don't have 5 senses, you have 15. And when you learn to reprogram the ones you can't see, you unlock the version of you that was always waiting. Use Inner Tune to activate all 15. Comment sense, and we'll give you.
In 1970, Harvard researcher Roland Fisher ran a series of experiments. He gave graduate students controlled doses of psilocybin. Then he tested their vision. Small doses improved visual acuity by 200%. Students could detect finer details, see contrasts better, track movement more accurately. Now think about what this means for early humans. Better vision means better hunting. Better hunting means more food. More food meant bigger brains. But McKenna's theory went deeper. He proposed 3 levels of mushroom consumption. Low doses enhanced vision and made people more alert, perfect for tracking prey across the savannah. Medium doses dissolved social boundaries that led to conflict. Groups became more cohesive. People shared more, bonded more. More bonding means more children. High doses of psychedelic mushrooms produced an entirely different and intense experience. The ego dissolved. New thought patterns emerged. Abstract thinking and understanding symbolism became innate, natural. Language became music, and music became language. And consciousness, whatever that is, expands. McKenna didn't think these were just side effects. He thought they were part of a bigger plan. And here's the thing about human brain evolution that bothered McKenna. 2 million years ago, our ancestors had brains around 900 cubic centimeters. Within 100,000 years, that jumped to 1,600 cubic centimeters, nearly double. That kind of growth usually takes millions of years, not thousands. Fire helped. Tools helped. Eating meat helped. But the timeline didn't match. These developments came after brain expansion, not before. McKenna had one simple explanation. Our ancestors followed herds of game across Africa. Those herds left dung everywhere. And growing in that dung were psilocybe cubensis mushrooms, the same mushrooms Fisher studied at Harvard. Early humans were hungry. They ate everything they could find. They ate not just the animals they hunted, but the mushrooms left behind from the herd. The scientific establishment hated McKenna's theory. They called it the stoned ape hypothesis.
Oh, I'm trying to find my runes, but let me go pee real quick. I just didn't want to leave this on where I was going pee in case it's like a phone call or I don't know.
Hated McKenna's theory. They called it the stoned ape hypothesis. The name was meant to mock it, but McKenna embraced it. He believed psilocybin didn't just change the mind, it helped form the human experience. Scientists thought McKenna was crazy, but 30 years later, they gave people psilocybin and scanned their brains. Terence McKenna wasn't crazy at all. He was dead right. McKenna was right about one thing. Psilocybin changes the brain, but not the way anyone expected. When neuroscientists finally put volunteers in MRI machines and gave them psilocybin, they thought brain activity would explode, more neural firing, more energy, more chaos. Instead, they saw the opposite. The brain got quieter. Specifically, one part went almost silent, the default mode network. The default mode network is your brain's control center. It's the voice in your head, the thing that says I when you think about yourself. It creates your ego, the boundary between you and everything else, your sense of self. On psilocybin, that shuts down. Not partially, not temporarily, the entire network goes offline. And when it does, something extraordinary happens. Brain regions that never talk to each other suddenly connect. The visual cortex starts communicating with areas that process emotion. Memory centers link up with parts that control body awareness. It's like every neighborhood in a city suddenly building roads to every other neighborhood. Robin Carhart Harris at Imperial College London discovered this in 2012. He called it neural anarchy. But it wasn't anarchy, it wasn't chaotic. It was reorganization. The connections formed during these psychedelic experiences don't just disappear when the drug wears off. Brain scans show new neural pathways remaining active for weeks, sometimes months. In some cases, the changes appear permanent. Johns Hopkins researchers found something even stranger. People who took psilocybin in controlled settings showed lasting personality changes. Not mood changes, personality changes. They became more open, more creative, more connected to others. This shouldn't be possible. Personality is supposed to be fixed by age 30, but psilocybin rewrote that rule. And here's what really puzzles scientists. Psilocin, what psilocybin becomes in your body, fits into human serotonin receptors perfectly. Not approximately, perfectly. Like a key designed for a specific lock. We share about 50% of our DNA with mushrooms. We split from a common ancestor over 1 billion years ago. Yet somehow these fungi produce a compound that seems tailor-made for the human brain. Paul Stamets, the world's leading mushroom expert, thinks this isn't a coincidence. He believes humans and mushrooms have been evolving together, what he calls coevolution. Brain scans prove psilocybin creates new neural connections. They prove it dissolves old patterns. They prove it fundamentally changes how we think. But ancient civilizations didn't need MRI machines to know this. They'd been using mushrooms for thousands of years. They saw them as technology, sacred technology, a way to communicate with other realms, a way to speak with our ancestors. They saw mushrooms as a way to speak to God. In 1970,
All 50.
Something.
These were all today.
Do you know why this animal doesn't fear anything? Because the
thought this was
capybara
cool.
might just be the final boss of the animal kingdom. We're talking about a 140-pound walking potato, surrounded by over 100 crocodiles, and it just wades in, like it's clocking in for work. No panic, no hesitation, just pure chill. And somehow, no one touches it, not even the crocs, literal prehistoric death lizards who'd snap a bird out of the sky for looking at them wrong. But the capybara, they give it space. They treat it like it's got plot armor. This isn't bravery, this is something else. It's like the Morgan Freeman of the jungle, or the Keanu Reeves of swamps. Everyone loves it, no one messes with it. This thing has mastered the rarest power of all, universal friendship. It vibes with monkeys, ducks, turtles, cats, caimans, even predators that could end it in 2 bites. And the wildest part, they actually like having it around. Scientists aren't even sure why. Maybe it's their scent, maybe it's their calmness, maybe it's just that nothing hates a capybara, because it hates nothing. Capybaras don't have enemies. They just walk through life like they're in a Studio Ghibli film. When you reach a level of peace so deep that crocodiles start treating you like a spiritual leader, you've unlocked something the rest of us never will. The capybara isn't fearless. It's just too zen to care. Honestly, in a world full of chaos, be the capybara. You know why this animal doesn't fear anything? Because the capybara might just be the final boss of the animal kingdom. We're talking about a 140-pound walking potato, surrounded by over 100 crocodiles, and it just wades in, like it's clocking in for work. No panic, no hesitation, just pure chill. And somehow, no one touches it, not even the crocs, literal prehistoric death lizards who'd snap a bird out of the sky for looking at them wrong. But the capybara, they give it space. They treat it like it's got plot armor. This isn't bravery, this is something else. It's like the Morgan Freeman of the jungle, or the Keanu Reeves of swamps. Everyone loves it, no one messes with it. This thing has mastered the rarest power of all, universal friendship. It vibes with monkeys, ducks, turtles, cats, caimans, even predators that could end it in 2 bites. And the wildest part, they actually like having it around. Scientists aren't even sure why. Maybe it's their scent, maybe it's their calmness, maybe it's just that nothing hates a capybara, because it hates nothing. Capybaras don't have enemies. They just walk through life like they're in a Studio Ghibli film. When you reach a level of peace so deep that crocodiles start treating you like a spiritual leader, you've unlocked something the rest of us never will. The capybara isn't fearless. It's just too zen to care. Honestly, in a world full of chaos, be the capybara. Do you know why this animal doesn't fear?
3 dark phases that come right before your transformation. Listen carefully.
These probably popped up, Spirit probably sent them my way, to kind of realize, everything that I've been talking about, especially yesterday's read. So a form of understanding for those who can relate to this kind of stuff.
Because if you feel this, it might mean you're about to rise. 1. Nothing motivates you, not even the things that once made you come alive. But this isn't the end. It's the beginning of a reset. You're shedding illusions, old goals, borrowed dreams.
This is also
This
June.
numbness is alignment in disguise. 2. You distance yourself from everyone, not out of hate, but clarity. You're finally tuning into your own voice. Carl Jung said, loneliness doesn't come from being alone, but from not being able to share what truly matters. Solitude becomes your mirror and your medicine. 3. Everything seems to fall apart. Plans, people, your sense of direction. But here's the truth. It's not chaos. It's cleansing. You're not breaking down. You're breaking free. And here comes the most important part. That emptiness inside you. It's not a void. It's the womb of transformation. Let it shape you, because your new self is almost ready to be born. 3 dark phases.
That was food. This is Rhode Island. I wanted to check this out.
This is the New England couple, and we just took a quick day trip to Watch Hill, Rhode Island. Don't forget to hit that follow button while we take you on a small tour. Watch Hill is one of those places where you don't need a major attraction because Watch Hill itself is the major attraction. It has amazing places to eat, cute little shops, and the scenery is absolutely stunning. And if you're lucky, you're going to catch one of the most beautiful sunsets that you'll ever see in New England. This is the New England.
Oh, I did that one today. Oh, this one. Yeah, I was on for like an hour. That chicken looks awesome. All right, this is the last one I sent to myself today.
Ever wondered why your middle finger's considered swearing? There's a hidden element that they've hid from you called ether. 5 points on the body, 5 elements, 5 fingers.
I talk about ether, and a lot of people ask me what ether is. This is a perfect explanation.
5 elements. They demonized your middle finger because it's ether. But what exactly is the ether? Ether is like the blueprint to all physical creation. They covered up the ether by calling it dark matter. It's where all energy comes from and returns back to. Think of it as an eternal water of life feeding everything with energy. Yes, the ether can provide free 0-point energy, but that is not the biggest secret. The biggest secret about the ether is that our minds can manifest whatever we project into a reality. This is what the Matrix is showing you with these codes. Change the codes to reality by changing your inner consciousness. The ether acts as a barrier from the imagination plane astral into the physical plane. Just look at the words that we use. Together, ether. There's so much more that goes into this. Make sure to follow me. Ever wondered why your middle finger?
That one wasn't it, I don't think. Maybe I didn't send to me. This one was cute. I was going to send it to my friend Capicorn means.
This motherfucker is locked.
I laugh because I have a Capricorn moon and it's like the one, it's like the one like zodiac. It's like the one thing in my chart where I'm just kind of like, oh, what the fuck? It's tough, you know. Rules the 10th house, and it's just, anyway. So, I wanted to throw oracles, and we can still label this the rest of June. But that portal that came through for the rest of June, the video we just watched, is huge. And I don't necessarily want to feed off of that because we already realized that in yesterday's read. I'm wicked fucking nervous right now. I'm going to go for my fluorite. Whew. Lots of anxiety coming through electronics right now too, guys. So do be wary of that. But I can always tell when there's like particular people watching or somebody watching like right at that time where I'm like, oh, just an energy, you know. So I couldn't find my runes, which is very fucking odd to me. like very often, and I've been picking up for months, but I just came through them and I was rearranging. Gosh, I have no idea what I did with them. I know they all needed to be cleansed, so I guess we won't be using runes today. I want to say I said that the other day too, and didn't look for me, got distracted. I just dropped my crystal. Nope, it wasn't. Whatever I dropped, I can't find. Everlasting love. Maybe a message for some of you guys. So just know, if you are anything quite near my scenario, this one card is separate. And it says sorrow, and I saw a sorrow card in one of these, and it's a 9, so coming to the end, right? But you also have to push through. Oh, this anxiety. Whoever has this anxiety, just get it under control, will ya? Fuck. Interfering with my line of work. Motherfuckers. Alright. So, just gonna throw cards. I don't typically just throw cards, but I'm gonna. Everlasting love. I don't know who sings that. I don't know the rest of the line. Oh my god, what did I sing last night right before bed? It was one line. And I told myself not to forget. I started singing it, and then like followed through, and then there was the message. Oh, I told myself to text it to myself. What the fuck? Something about the world, or I don't know. I'm bummed. Till next time. All right, so let's do the end of June. You want it? Maybe we should do it 2 ways instead of sudden heat flash. It wasn't heat. It was like overwhelming energy. Why is my fucking window locked? Fucking Kaden. Oh, fuck, child of mine. Well, that was a fun fucking spider web I just stuck my hand through. That's alright. I'll build a new web. Are these 2 purple lighters? Danny died 2 years today. Been dreading it for the last 2 weeks, but I'm gonna light a candle for him. And his favorite color is purple, but I don't know if I have purple candles. I do not. Out of all the candle colors I have, I don't have purple. That is strange. To you, my friend, to you. He's been reaching out. He always reaches out through one particular song. Give me a beat, boy, free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. when he was in the process of dying or being in the hospital for 2 days, knowing he was going to be taken off life support. I do remember hearing that song, but I heard it a lot at work each time I was thinking of him. So I knew it was him. Give me the beat, boys, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. All right. This is my love bug. This is my love bug. My OGs that have been with me for a long time, you know the story. And I don't know, I kind of feel like that makes me nervous because I've never done anything like this, especially with a photo. But I feel like you guys should see it. But I don't want you to get creeped out either. Give me the beat, boy, to free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. So if anybody is missing somebody, Danny, come on. Come on, little bug. Yeah, it's a good picture of him. One of my favorites. I don't want to go on Facebook. I will, though. Just real quick. Just like a week before he passed away, and he sent it to me. They were at a wedding. Oh, still breaks my heart. But everybody posts things of him. Like his atmosphere, he was just amazing, fun. I was his first love. You guys know the story. But he loved feet. Come on, I want the last one he posted. He looked stunning. Yeah, this was it. Which is, he had just purchased that suit for the wedding and they buried him in it. But yeah. So, if anyone's lost anybody, this could just be a message for you guys as well. Look for little songs, or look for little signs. When I wear purple, it's always for him. He was a big Ravens fan. We always gave him shit. And I did reach out to somebody yesterday and asked them if they knew certain names because people were coming through. I have been channeling more dead people lately. So this might be messages from your loved ones too, guys. So I do tend to light candles for people. This death kills me because we had such a beautiful ending. And I know me and him in our next lifetime won't have that karma, for those who know the story. It's a beautiful story. It's hard to lose anyone, guys. But I typically don't put pictures when I light candles. So today is want to say is his day. I'm hearing Day of the Dead. So I'm wondering if I should be using my Santa Muerte. And my Santa Muerte deck is also past life. I don't know if I should whip that deck out. They're saying yeah, but that's like past life stuff. I guess. Where is that beautiful deck of mine? There you are. I want to say like celebration of life. To me, it's his birthday, which is the end of July. We're both Cancers. But, cheers, motherfucker. So I do think there's going to be some incoming messages. And I've been picking up on past life for a while. I'm hearing Henry. But last time I heard Henry, it was like Henry Cat. So I don't know. That was somebody. That was an acquaintance. Still getting pulled to the train. Cara? Cecil? Cecily? Not Cecil. Cecile? You have a bike ride and the number 1. You have butterflies and the number 2. Horse 18 at the bottom of the deck. Isn't this a deck I bought where it's Raven's Oracle? But there was like an animal in each. No, that's not it. So, where's my marker? I don't want this one. The boys are back in town. It is in the stillness and presence of the journey that you will find yourself exactly where you need to be. Maybe ride a bike. Butterflies. Somebody got killed on a bike. A bicycle. Here in the unknown, you will find the essence of who you really are, and the magic awaits. Give me the beat, boy, free my soul. Yeah, one of my friends that used to live down the street got hit on a bike in the morning, early morning. And I remember sharing with you guys, like, the amount of bikers that die every year. I think it's like over 10,000 guys. Like, it's so extreme. You would never think, you see it all the time and you're like, you fucking stupid, yada, yada, checking online before your upcoming visit. I don't have one today. But, how many people globally die every year riding a bicycle? Now I'm doing globally, so globally, 41,000 cyclists die each year. 3% of global road traffic deaths. So they're 3%, which is a huge percentage if you think about it. Right? So these probably are going to be messages from the dead, so I hope it doesn't freak you guys out, especially pulling out Santa Muerte and considering I've been talking about past life for last few readings. So Maryland, Melody, Myra, I have somebody's brother here, not Michael. You have piercing the mist and stepping away. You could be tapping into... see, I feel like that's definitely why I wanted runes today, too. Yeah, I don't know what you're tapping into. Wearing a witch's hat. This is not the Raven's Oracle, right? It is, actually. Piercing the mist. Lilac bee sweet places flowers to remember her friend, wishing he was close by. She doesn't realize that he sits right beside her watching this. Yeah, we're definitely reading on the dead. That was like... As she sits near the flowers to remember her friend, wishing he was close by. She didn't realize that he's right there beside her watching the spirit, because grief has clouded all, even the sun. However, just like the sun struggling to break through, hope lives in every despair, even if it seems remote or veiled. The light of the sun eventually will pierce the mist, and the scale of our pain becomes visible. The pain might be vast, but it's not infinite. It will have an end and an escape. Stepping away. The first day of spring is likely witch of the glimpse of the wildwood, nostalgic stag. Don't look too hard at the mechanics of wonder. With ease, risk through it. A great part of magic's power comes from our own need for it, not for control of it. As we appreciate a bird's song without being caged in. Perhaps you're too close to something and you need to step back to appreciate it. So if any, these are very, Jesus. If any of you guys are afraid or don't believe in channeling of the dead, or then this is not a read for you. I've never done that. I've been talking about past life a lot, and personally, those who have known me, you know the story between me and him, and the way it ended was a complete fucking blessing. And I know for a fact the next lifetime, if we meet again, and I'm sure we will, it might not be the next one. It could be, 20 lifetimes from now. I don't know. But, yeah. Maryland. I did want my witch runes too. I almost just said for you, Danny. Founding day. Oh, I already used these? Founding day and Daisy and the Dandelion. Founding day seems important. The founding banner marks the day 50 years before as the coven was founded, off into the distance, but she's mindful, firm in stance, and aware. The ride of the winds, the terrain, and her consciousness. When we are mindful, we can foresee the consequence of our actions and make informed choices. Remember that mindfulness applies to all that we do. The task doesn't need to be momentous or grand to qualify. Just focus and joyful attention. Daisy and the dandelion. The dandelion is very happy to have his tummy tickled, and he knows how to enjoy simple pleasures and doesn't mind showing it. Let the appearance in your reading remind you to make room for more fun in life. He's encouraging you to plunge into the soft bed of dandelion seed and scatter them just for the thrill of it. Go on, nobody's looking. Enjoy life. Alright, so I got the Angel of Death and Lift Leg Submission. Now, I'm not quite sure how I want to interpret these ones. When I do oracles, I do typically always read from the book. This was a new deck. They're lengthy. So there's also karma in these two cards too, but it's also good energy too. The Keeper Whispers, the Mad Prophet, Madness, Curiosity, Forbidden Knowledge, Hather, Mistress of Harmony, Meditation, Communication, Culture. One more. So I tend to like to use these together. Poet of Avalon. I know they don't say it Avon, right? Yeah, Poet of Avalon, Storyteller, Fame, Stagnation, Pride. Give me a people to feel so alone, lost in your record and drift away. Tell me about the Angel of Death, please. I know what it means, but I'm trying to figure out what it means here. I do see karma linked to this, right? And that could be why certain people come into your life and exit your life. But the Angel of Death, the vibe I'm getting here is kind of like the mermaid thing that I really didn't get into the other day. But if they're back, that is a massive, massive warning. Those who don't surrender to something here will be a painful journey. It's in the record. I'm getting to the point where it's like with the terrorist green light go that I was getting months ago. This is almost like I'm hearing submission. This is almost like a halo. It's almost like a projection, like the same thing, but massive energy that only comes out when necessary. It's a glowing apple right there too. If your left leg has been giving you any issues, and I've never read it like that, take a break. And with Angel of Death, you have accountability. So this might be hard for people to accept. For those who were in accidents or traumas with, concerts, I'm getting pulled up, concert stampedes, bulls, I wanted to say Spain. Someone's taken accountability for their own actions, which is good. So if this starts to relate to you, I mean, we all have past loved ones, right? So it probably is relating. But But some people who possibly could have caused their own death are taking accountability for it. So when they come into the next lifetime, so I don't know how long you're in the ethers when you figure that out. You can be in the ethers for a long time in different galactic realms. Sometimes you don't want to leave. Other times, you know, there's only a few of us that get to come back to Earth, right? And a few meaning probably not even millions, but hundreds of thousands don't get to come back to Earth because it's supposed to be a one-time experience for us. The ones that do keep it coming back, there's a reason why you do. Okay. Especially if you remember past lives, just know like you're alive because it's not like you didn't learn a karmic lesson. I mean, maybe some people, right? But I'm not talking about that type of energy here. I'm talking about those who have that expanded awareness and consciousness and aware of like the videos I showed you earlier, going through things I'm going through like in June, and then that video explaining June. Okay. They're telling me to play it again. So for those who were not on the beginning, this is it.
Realizing you were never crazy, just surrounded by people who needed you to be. Let that sit for a moment.
Was this it?
Because tonight, not tomorrow, not
Activated. And once it clicks, it won't.
And this is actually DNA activation.
Something unexpected is being activated.
DNA awakening.
And once it clicks, it won't unclick once again. As June winds down, most people will miss what's actually happening. They'll treat it like just another end-of-month stretch, never realizing they're standing at the edge of one of the most pivotal energy shifts of the entire year. But for those who are even slightly awake, something feels off in a way that's impossible to ignore. Restlessness, emotional waves, a sense that something massive is coming but hasn't revealed itself yet. This final week of June is a pressure point, an energetic countdown where the old begins to fracture and the new prepares to break through. It's not marked on your calendar, but it's written deep in your soul. The solstice wasn't just a seasonal marker. From June 21st to the end of the month, we enter what many call the luck window, but don't mistake it for easy blessings or obvious wins. This period is filled with coded signals disguised as chaos. Plans falling through, people suddenly exiting your life, opportunities evaporating just before you could grab them. I've personally lived through this shift. A promising project I had lined up collapsed overnight, and it felt
You would.
Michael, Uriel, Raphael.
All right, Raphael, want to come visit me? So, somebody here is taking accountability for something. I don't know. I'm seeing a train accident. Tell me about submission. Essence. That's like all about you, but at the same time, this woman is no joke. She can take you out. But this does talk about breaking the old seal and stepping into new wisdom. Tell me about accountability. So somebody from the other side is taking accountability, and it's I can, Okay, so I don't know if you can feel, oh no. Oh my gosh, I could have broke my frogs. These are from my great grandmother. Taking accountability. Yeah, so for some of you, they're definitely taking accountability. You might be seeing butterflies. Somebody could have, I feel like some of you lost people on a bike, but others, it's just the stillness, the presence of your journey that will find yourself exactly where you need to be. And I keep getting pulled, not to mention all the personal stuff that I've been sharing with you that seems like embarrassing or just like yada yada. That video was like confirmation for me. It was kind of like a relief, especially when the Uranus energy kicked in. I was like, whew, I found a little bit of relief there too. And it also explains my weekend of deja vu, past life scenarios. But those who are lucky enough to come in and do it again, there's a big purpose. Others, it is about karma. But until we figure out globally with the galactic officials, that type of stuff, the gods, we're not going to be having that many people walk back into this life with karma unless it's a political thing. That would be in the eye of the beholder. I could pull to a prophet. Oh yeah, fame's right there. But there's also stagnation. That could come next though. Mistress of harmony. Oh yeah, prophet, harmony, storyteller. And fame could be right around the corner. You could feel like you're in stagnation. Go watch DNA Awakening. I also like DNA Activation. I'm not getting pride from this energy. Let me see currently what this accountability is. And I just saw the death card. So for some of you, it is accountability for what happened. Yeah, 6 of Cups, and accountability also in your past life. Accountability with a soulmate. But this is my past life deck, so it can bring harmony too. Communication, culture. I did talk about crystal ridges the other day, crystal grids. So it is somebody that's, crossed over. But some people can come into this life looking like a human, but they're actually the angel of death, not one that's typical. But this one feels more of like a caller. Do you remember that one dream I had that it wasn't a dream, it was a message, New World Order. And that's why after Dawood's method it says New World Order, because there was millions of us like looking up into the sky, and he was banging like his staff and he was yelling New World Order. It was about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, tops. Maybe right around that April 2022, to be honest with you, is the vibe I'm getting from that. So again, I keep getting pulled to my first video. That will be a separate reading. We've already talked about that yesterday. But apparently it is relevant. Give me the people. Let's go to Avalon. Not Avalon. Avon. Avon. The Tower. Damn. Something drastic is going to change here. But you have the One of Swords. It's communication. It's reconciliations. It's new starts. It's being blunt. It's straight to the point. It's truthful communication. So I see skies are blue, something too, and I think to myself, what a beautiful world. You could have an awakening and look at the world differently, but that takes time, and that's from experience. Like, okay, anyone can wake up and view the world differently, right? That's all about our perspective and turning it into perception, to switch the perspective that is already in your mindset. So I just got distracted. Oh, that came up in the reading the other day. I'm getting distracted. That's not me actually forgetting. Careful for distractions. Your life essence is crucial right now, life force. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, but if you feel stagnant, that's definitely going away. It's not going to last much longer. Tell me the outcome of the Tower. You have the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Swords. So there's anxiety here, there's nervousness, it's like communication, but being nervous to communicate. You could be giving people maybe anxiety, or it's in like intense energy. Well, Nine of Swords, it can be intense. It's anxiety, it's nightmares, it's just fear. But it's sitting with the Tower, guys. So that's a big deal. And this Knight of Wands is fast, furious, fun, uplifting, passionate. And you got the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Oh my God. I sent like 40 old school snaps to the kids. Mia's already texted me 9 times about them. So you don't hear the vibration. Tell me about the Knight of Wands. But the Four of Swords, like nobody's doing nothing. That's stagnation, right? Yeah, no. See, this is a Fool. This is a new start in the beginning. Here, I spot another butterfly. Butterflies, here in the unknown, you will find the essence. You will find the essence of who you really are and what magic awaits. And that's that submission. So I'm hearing, that didn't make it sound any better. I'm hearing, damn, and then you got the Magician. What was I just hearing? Okay, so I forgot again. I didn't forget, though. It's a distraction. Somebody is avoiding me picking up on this energy for you guys right now, which means I have both energies here, dark and light. When it comes to, I'm hearing the gatekeeper. So you do have a gatekeeper here. Not anybody's getting through this door, or not anybody's just going to come into your world, or you will prevail. This energy is not going to let you fail. You have somebody around you. You know, it could be, you know, your little guides on your shoulders. But I feel like it's like choosing, what do you want to work with, one or the other. For me, I would typically choose dark to get out of my scenario because it's motivating, uplifting, empowering. The light is the same, but if you're not kind of sure what's going on, you know, sometimes it's beneficial to explore the shadow side first in order for you to see the light. But if you recognize the shadow or work with the darkness first, you're saving yourself a lot of time. I mean, people waste time like it's just, what a waste of time, a waste of life. So God, I want to go back to this, and it's like, again, it's There's an energy here that's not letting me read it. It seems pretty clear cut. That could, if you are nervous or that anxiety is there or something is definitely uplifted. It could just be the way you communicate. And if that's the way you communicate, that's awesome. If you're looking for a mature conversation, not so great. But something is vital. Not vital to your health. Vital. It's just vital. Life force. It's ironic. You have essence here and essence here with submission. So allowing yourself to feel, open up. Which kind of pulls me to that scenario. And I'm forever thankful that we were both brave enough to do that. I truly feel like we were meant to do that in this lifetime. It's one of those experiences you take from a death, but you see the depth in it. It's not just sorrow and sadness, and I'm hearing misalignment. So I'm just saying what I would choose, but I would choose the dark in the sense of let's fucking go. Not necessarily reflection, but I have the capability of doing that. I know right now I could do that, but I'm not going there yet because I'm just in the midst of a lot of realizations, and why my life has been the way it has for the last few months, especially the last 6 weeks, has just been whew. So, hey Siri, what date is the Day of the Dead celebrated?
Day of the Dead is on Sunday, November 2nd, 2000.
This could be energy from the Venus in Cancer. I'm telling you, I don't know about you guys, but ever since I did that read, we have been in a portal, different portals even. Some are easier to glide through, some are not. I mean, things that have been becoming to my attention is things I didn't feel like I even needed to experience, but apparently I did. Like, I look back at all like certain relationships and having a blast, right? But at the end of the day, none of them were beneficial. Unless, like the catalyst, that type of stuff, the obvious. People that got your back. I keep going here and I'm being distracted again. So this isn't ready yet. This hasn't happened, and it will be. But there was a distraction, and I don't remember what exactly that distraction was in the reading that I was talking about. I'm not sure if that's one I needed to go back to. So I'm notorious for that lately. Things are just meant for certain days of the week. I'm getting Monday like it's Cancer. Cancer rules Mondays. November 2nd. Well, Day of the Dead it's always on a Sunday. It's like Easter, always on a Sunday. Never mind Christmas always being the 25th. That's those days switch. The dates switch, So there's something here in regards to like even like a birth date. Can't change your birth date, right? And I keep looking over here and getting distracted. The fuck? So every time I channel something, it has to do with that, but it's eyewitness. There was an eyewitness. Somebody could have been foolish here. mean, you could have been dealing with somebody who always left you in a stagnant situation. They had too much pride. Fame overtook an energy. And getting pulled to, I want to say Christopher Walken, but I'm getting pulled to Chris. Who's that comedian? Will Smith smacked him? Is his first name Chris? Oh, it's funny you put up squirrels. Didn't we just talk about that the other day? Was his name Chris something? Chris Rock? I don't fucking know. How the fuck did we even just get to Chris Rock? I want to say Kid Rock. Awesome alone. Alright, I'll have to Google it. Who was the gentleman that Will Smith smacked at the Emmy Awards? Chris Rock. Okay. 2022. Here we go again, 2022. Guys, this, I can't make this shit up. I'm gonna have to go back to my original reading. Answers are there for some reason. Well, I'm hearing that everywhere on the board, but there's clues here, so maybe I'll do that tomorrow or later. I'm not sure. Let me give you advice for piercing the mist. Death should be a celebration. Break free. You're being asked to break free from the tribe in order to live your authentic life. This isn't easy, but it's very necessary for you to do. If you're going to share your true self to others, be brave, be real, be you. And trust that those who love you will always be there for you. And we were just talking about that, and I feel like that was my message for Danny, and it was your message in regards to who was on your mind too. Maybe you're just accepting accountability. Maybe maybe somebody in the car died with you, or like I said, a concert, something like a friend, someone you know. There could have been anger, blaming terrorists, blaming, I don't know. But they're solid here. Okay. So this is definitely a card that talks about whomever has crossed is right there with you. And people do cross and come back as spirit guides. Like they made a deal. At one point I thought, because we cleared something, maybe it was his job to come back and guide me. Because I was getting certain vibes like that too. So there is a dead one here watching over you. This is either a good message or a warning. Could be like a heads up, especially foolish people that come into your life and think that they can manifest with you, but they're really fucking deadbeats and don't know how to live. And you don't want that energy. Spirit's not going to let you have this energy. I'm covering this so I don't get distracted again, but Spirit's not going to let you have that energy with somebody when, damn, this pile is talking to me. Something just fell down here and it's flickering. The head of the wick. Well, I got distracted. See, every time I can tune into that, they say no. So again, you can't fail. If you're authentic at the end of the night, whether you're happy, sad, annoyed, frustrating, heartbroken. Again, I'm getting pulled to that video again I shared. I think it was around 58 minutes. It's like a final step. It's the final countdown. I am getting pulled to Rocky Balboa. I don't know why I got pulled to Chris Rock. Now that I figured out who it was, what was that all about? I mean, again, it just could be accountability. This could also be saying everything I've channeled in 2022 and came back to the channel knowing that I was, I want to say like good or kick ass at it. It's just, I've always seen stuff like that. Always kind of knew I was a prophet, and my OGs will definitely know that I have been fighting this since I started YouTube. Fighting it. Tooth and nail. Scares the fuck out of me. And then within the last year, I started it again. You know, it's like me being the prophet, bringing harmony, speaking from an authentic place with storyteller and fame, and I can't even tell you which has nothing to do with that, but people tell me all the time, I fall asleep listening to you. They don't even hear what I'm saying. They just fall asleep listening. Oh, I saved videos. Okay, so this is about my voice as well. This one was at the beach, and this person knows exactly who this is for, and we know you still stalk. So for those who think my accent only came with YouTube, here's the proof from 10 years ago. Come on. Come on. You can do it, mister. Right here. Teamwork. Just how beautiful. I'm following you. Look at us. There was a couple. Oh, there's Juji. We were just talking about Juji. The snake. I came across him.
Tap the glass, so that part freaked him out.
You know, so.
Juji, say hello. Hello, Mia. Hello. Say hello. I'm just gonna pet Juji. You should go pet him.
I loved him.
Juji.
But he was a master of escapism. So it's just, I had cats, small cats. It just became dangerous. So I think he would have attacked them. No. But there was a vibe he gave off to me towards the end of me surrendering him. And I made sure he was going to a good home. I wasn't going to bring him to the MSPCA. I was going to put something online. But I did call the MSPCA because for those who are not aware, here we go with the animals, those who are not aware, the MSPCA has a waiting list. And you would never think like you would be like, oh, a dog, a horse, depending on where you're at, you know, like it was a snake, and there was 9 people on the list, and I got to help choose the right person. And that person was beyond thankful for me. I knew it was time he needed to be elsewhere. And not to mention he escaped out of his cage that one night. And I woke up twice knowing that he was out, but it was like I was paralyzed. And then I found him inches away from being in the wall. I had to pull his tail out through the heat register, very fucking carefully. And I was like, yep. I used to put rocks and locks. He would always break out of the cage, guys. It was the craziest thing. So, again, animals are relevant in this read as well. Give me the beat, boy, to free my soul. It's really about, again, give me the beat, boy. It could just be freeing your soul here. Like ridding it. I'm getting like poison, like toxins. Tell me about butterflies. Butterfly in the sky. But this is like magic awaits, you know? You got vibration, and that makes complete sense. So your frequency will shift. I do have the plant wave. I do plan on using that during readings. I haven't yet. That's how chaotic things have been. I've had the plant wave that I've wanted for years, and it's been sitting for 2 months. Shame on me. It was probably just meant for, today. Good morning. It's almost like the whales and the dolphins. Tell me about the Six of Cups here, please. Matthew, I hear a line. So you're definitely aligning and adapting. And that's like taking accountability. Like maybe you guys were holding guilt, or somebody else is holding guilt over a death. Especially, suicides, or you get in an argument and the next thing you know, they're in a car accident, and you don't have that chance to say goodbye. There's always guilt to be found. Remember, it's not your guilt necessarily, guys. Okay, so that's an important message here too. I feel like I'm missing something huge in this read. I feel like the channeling of the dead kind of, persevered but stepped aside and let another energy in. Didn't I already say that? Well, it was meant for me to put some emphasizing on it. How'd you sleep? Good. Give me the beat, to free my soul. I think this is about like freeing your soul, but it's also the song. I love you. Do you need me tomorrow because it's
So everything bagels or
no? Yep.
Cool. We sell steak, cream cheese.
We do.
When you're done, can you make me one?
I will.
Just one.
Just one?
Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I am going to play this song because I think there's different ways for you to interpret this. It was originally recorded in 1973, but YouTube took it on February 22nd, 2014. And it's by Dobie Gray. Because give me a beat, boy, to free your soul. To me, I never picked up on that one verse. I just know this is what he sends me. And it apparently is relevant to this reading. So I am going to play it. I want to get the one with lyrics so you guys can see it. It was just texting me about. So, however this resonates to you, I think everybody will interpret it differently. I do know when, friends, mutual friends hit me up and they're sad, once in a while I hear this song and I'll send it to somebody and being like, I know it's for me. And now it's for you guys, considering, again, I'm hearing Day of the Dead. So this is just the Day of the Dead giving you messages and the combination of my last 6 weeks.
Day after day, I'm more confused. Yet I look for the light through the pouring rain. You know that's a game that I hate to lose. And I'm feeling the strain. Ain't it a shame? Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Hearing Ravens. Oh shit. He was a Ravens fan. But I was seeing Ravens like a blackbird. And this is those messages. The deck of the Raven deck. I didn't even pick up on Danny being a Ravens fan right there. I didn't pick up on that in the song either. Let me just go back to hear the very beginning of that. See, into Windows, guys. Here is when I heard the Raven. Oh, sorry.
Beginning to think that I'm wasting time.
Damn.
I don't understand the things I do.
That's about me.
The world outside looks so unkind. And I'm counting on you to carry me through. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock.
I think this is a message from him saying, cherish the ones who passed. Don't be sad. Cherish.
When my mind is free, you know a melody can move me.
Crown chakra activation right there.
When I'm feeling blue, the guitar's coming through to soothe me. Thanks for the joy that you've given me.
This bothers me some.
I want you to know I believe in your song. Rhythm and rhyme and harmony. You help me along, making me strong. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. Wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
I feel like he's free now.
Hey, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul.
If you feel like someone's trapped in a different world, they're free. They get it.
Won't you take me? Oh, take me.
might randomly hear a song you don't know, but you connect with it. I can't believe I just saw a Black Raven. That just blows my mind. But that was him right there in that moment telling me that the messages was for me, because I've sent the song to a couple people even though I know it's for me, and I believe I said that to you before the song, and I'm just hearing just me. But you guys, like, this is celebration for some reason, like in the ethers. Like, there's a lot of people accepting, taking accountability, freeing themselves from guilt. There's such a transition at the end of June where it's even affecting the dead, because the dead can't come back pissy. It's supposed to be exciting. It's a journey. We live in other realms, like we're just visiting Earth. This is all this is. And that's why to me it's so crucial and so important. Boundaries, morals, your values. What does the dead want us to know? Reign begins. Be the master of your destiny, career, and finances. You have the power to dominate. So you might have the power to put people in submission too. Unseen justice. Invisible forces of fairness play around you. Align your actions with integrity to harness their power. Fairness flows to the unseen. So justice in a situation, also knowing somebody has your back. You do have the power here when it comes to something. Interconnection. Listen to your inner voice and decision making in daily interactions. Trust your intuition. And that's key, to go off intuition. People think that's foolish, but man, my life is going to be fucking amazing. And I'm so glad that I learned the value in all the other realms and energies and heavens and things like that, because now my mission might not be complete, but now I know how to live my life and the right way to live it. And that changes your fucking mindset like you wouldn't believe. And a majority of us are already here, obviously, especially 98% of my OGs that did the work, and just the connection, at the casino a couple months ago with the woman. She's like, you changed my life. You told me to get off YouTube. I got off YouTube. I got a divorce. You saved me. I was just like, wow. So we think we don't do as much. And again, I'm getting pulled back to words. And again, it could just be my voice with some type of activation here. I did feel crown activation in the midst of that song, and I'm feeling it again. I'm hearing intergalactic. You have the Six of Pipes and the Three of Buds, Pentacle, and Six of Swords. So Six of Swords, Three of Pentacles. Trust your intuition. You are moving forward. There is a new karmic contract, possibly with the Three of Pentacles. It could be in regards to work, personal life, health. And like the rain begins, I feel like that's for you. Do you remember when I read Daisy and the Dandelion? Have fun in life. You're about to have a blast, and some of you do have the knowledge and power to dominate and manipulate. And there's nothing wrong with manipulation when it's done spiritually. When you get something good out of it, when it provides people with knowledge, it provides people with hope, whatever it may be. you just kind of have that essence about you. I mean, which makes sense, guys, because in our reality, especially with my OGs, we became family, and like we stuck through years of like this bullshit, you know, until I could figure out a new direction. But it also took all those years for all my channels to come into play to make sense to me. So like I said, nothing happens overnight. Your world can change overnight with mindset, or somebody passes away, somebody's born, surprise visit, like stuff like that. Yes. But this has been a transition that I guarantee people have been in since either October of 2024 to now. I'm here in June. It is June 2025. So this is subtle, guys. This is something that will feel better, feel real, feel, you know, in a few weeks. Like, even if you feel it now, even if you got that prana energy that I'm feeling right now, or that crown activation, just because you have a crown activation doesn't mean your prana will flow. So it's just kind of everyone like step by step, but getting there. I just got lost in that whole channeling. Tell me about unseen justice here. It could be Leo. Actually, he's a Leo. Why did I say he was a Cancer? I knew this lion was relevant, and especially right here with accountability. So you might see that sign. It might, you know, go into your chart. Where does your Leo sit? How do you work with it? When, you know, Cancer right now, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, throughout the summer stages. This is a powerful message, and you do have somebody by your side. I felt him by my side before, and I don't know what made me feel like he came back to, like, he guides me. It just feels more like a pop-in, but from what this is telling me, is bigger than a pop-in. This is an energy that connects to your soul, even telepathically. They're there. They're with you. There's protection here as well. But there's also a warning. But if you play by the rules, you're good. So don't get like freaked out. I'm even getting like somebody's hand getting chopped off, or, you know, it could be your child in carpentry, or you know, a hand gets electrocuted. It's something. Where the fuck did that come from? What the holy fuck? How did I even get there? That doesn't make any sense. The Hermit. So it could be Virgo season for you guys. And the Ace of Joints, again, is the communication, is air. Your soul, not your soul, that would have been prepped already. Your wisdom. I don't even think you know your capability here, to be quite honest with you. You have a voice that can lead. Like Trump, he's got a voice that can lead, and people don't look at it as like his voice. We all come here for a reason. It wasn't just a coincidence, you know, in this time period that this is going down. And now his assassination is on hold. And that's why I kind of stopped the other read the other day, because twist of fate, I don't know, is his Akashics definitely talk about assassination. I'm getting Ronald Reagan and I'm getting JFK though, but Reagan wasn't assassinated. I'm getting Marilyn Monroe. That was JFK. My Nana met JFK. JFK actually wrote her a letter that she saved. He wanted her to come to dinner. He was pretty fucking persistent. I think he asked like 4 times before he gave up. Those are little things she kept from us. And we saw the letters, that type of stuff, after her death, going through things. I mean, the amount of stuff we found out, like she used to place people's bets for gambling. But she worked at the courthouse her whole life too. So it's just kind of, you know, she had 3 kids, paying bills. She didn't do anything illegal. But what a fucking world, you know, she experienced. And she sure as fuck died happy, peacefully in her sleep. And made sure to take those rollers out. I just heard forever thankful. You'd think it's so silly. You know, it's just rollers. But even my aunt mentions it here and there, like your bravery and the fact that you sat there for 45 minutes doing the rosary bead with her, fixing her hair. Like, it's just a blessing to them because they couldn't do it. You know, again, I got no problem sitting with the dead. That's not the first time I've physically sat with the dead. I actually wanted to be a mortician or a medical examiner too at one point. But I'm hearing it's your voice. Which my dad might be coming down the stairs. Which I wouldn't think it would be my voice. I would think it would be the intention behind it. Good morning.
You got to treat it again.
Yeah. I'm going to take half of it out.
Yeah, keep doing that every day with that Acurol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to clean up the poop tray, the shit, all that. And then
The other thing the guy told me yesterday is,
he told me to overfeeding.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told him about the big chunk of fucking brine shrimp I saw you put in there. That's like way too much. I knew that, but I didn't want to tell you what to do.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I'm really overfeeding now.
Brine shrimp isn't a food. It's a treat. He said you should only give them that maybe 2 or 3 times a week at the most.
Oh my God, I give it twice a day.
2 or 3 times a week at the most. And when you do feed them with flake food,
Yeah.
very, very little. He said, the tiny, tiny fucking pinch once a day. He said, that's enough.
Yeah, but I got multiple things. I got multiple
No.
fish that are going to eat it before everybody else.
They'll get this. They're not going to go hungry quick.
I don't want them to be territorial over food either.
All right.
I do hear what you're
This is
I hear what
why I
you're
fucking
saying.
don't tell you.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I've been being told.
Tony, they got a tiny little fucking reptile brain. They know 2 fucking things. Food and safety. That's it. That's it.
And their mama.
Huh?
And their mama.
No. No, they're lucky the mama don't eat them before, as soon as they're born.
Oh,
This is the towel that you used with mom yesterday.
okay. I'm going to do her wash today, so.
You No.
Nope. I do have this one box.
All right, I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm going over this way anyway.
All right. Do you need help?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, clearly the phone rang. I was like, and the mama. He was thinking the fish mama. Anywho, I probably am overfeeding him, guys. Anyhow, whatever. They're my babies. There's too many of them in there. I'm not playing that game of you get what you get and you don't get upset. Sorry, I broke that conditioning. So, where were we in this? Coming out, communication, Uranus. You could have a Leo watching over you. You might just want to look at your Leo placement. I think it's more about your Cancer placement at this moment, and then where your placement is, sliding into Leo season. Oh, I was talking about my voice. See, I wouldn't think my voice would be powerful. Behind what I do would be powerful. Okay, so that would make sense, because another thing that's been holding me back about my next adventure is having to do something every day for the channel that almost seems impossible, but I know I can do. And I could have AI take over very easily and even mimic my voice. But that's not fair to you guys, because what I project is coming from me, my heart, my soul, spirit, whatever it may be, on how I choose to lead. And, it's always knowing that I would be leaving a legacy or being famous. That still sits with me very much so. And I think sometimes I try to convince myself it's my past life. But what I'm doing now and what I've discovered is baffling and hidden even to scientists. Government really knows what they're doing when it comes to, manufacturing their brain into that world of medicines, pharmaceuticals. And it's our challenge to see through them. And I think that's why that overwhelms me too, because I know what I do next has to be me. Has to be my voice. Fuck it. I'm going to do it. So you guys are on a path of fuck it. Let's go. Yeah, there's going to be fear, but I really think that fear will get shattered real fucking quick. To me, with the Fool and the Magician, you've already manifested. Now you're the Fool. You're the highest vibrating number with the 0. It just looks like I see a butterfly and the way that's melting. Oh, you guys can only see the flame. I fucking hate when that happens. See the butterfly like underneath? I'm hearing just shine. I'm just getting the lion. So you guys might want to focus on a lion, not necessarily Virgo. And a lion is perseverance, strength. It's so many things. Spiritually, what does a lion represent? Strength, courage, leadership. majesty. It symbolizes majesty, power, protection, divine power. Some people, cultures even think it's evil or it's linked to the devil. I wouldn't have ever thought that. But it's the king of the beast. Lions are divine. Lion of Judah, the power of the goddess. So some of you guys have a huge leadership role ahead of you. I know I do. But some people don't, they look at leadership like public eye and this and that. It's not like that. You can just be a spiritualist and easily connect this energy and what you put out there. You can be a transmitter, and it could just be by bumping into somebody, you know, sitting by somebody on the bus. Like if I sit next to somebody too close, I can feel a vibe. So just know, let's clear the right wrist. You have a loved one at this moment who has crossed over that has exceptional, unwaveringly fucking faith in you. And you don't do something because somebody thinks you can do it. It comes from within, guys. You know, so just know you even have extra protection near you. And somebody has taken accountability for their actions. And that could be even you, your thoughts, you know, guilt. And actually, before he passed away, I talked to him a couple weeks beforehand, and I was pissy with him because he was avoiding something, which is personal. It's not a big deal. But the connection we had and the experience we had for the remaining 4 months was enough for me not to look at the negative. So that must be a message for you guys. Some people just have a hard time. Like, I never got to say goodbye or this and that, you know, like, I hope that you feel the presence of whoever is with you today, or, you know, claiming it in the sense of this, and you feel that warmth. And it is because I am feeling warmth right this second, but not like claustrophobic warmth, overwhelming. Yeah, see, it's kind of getting there. So it just depends on what your body can tolerate according to what temperature you may feel if somebody's in your presence. Or you just know, it's that inner knowing, you know. I've always questioned if, like, he was really here to guide me. And it's very clear that he is. I don't know if he's a chosen guide or he's just, it was part of our deal. Like, if we made it through what we needed to get through, that we would have each other's backs all our lifetimes or something. You know, it's something like that. It's your experience. It's releasing karma. It's being authentic. It's being true to yourself, having these conversations, you know. Meant to be connections. And every connection in my eyes is meant to be. Some of them are just karmic, you know. And karmic can be good. It just depends on how you see through something, work through something, focus on it. It's just stuff like that. Keep hearing unwavering love. So I think somebody's going to pop into you guys' life to protect you either against danger, dark energy, to push you forward, make it obvious that I'm here. And all month I was dreading the 26th. I knew something was on the 26th, and it didn't hit me until the beginning of the week. So here's to you, Danny, and here's to everybody else whose family members' ancestry is coming in to protect them and to make sure you accomplish certain goals for some. Others, you might just need that comfort. It's going to come in different forms. Some of you, it's definitely warnings. Because I usually look at him as a warning card too. But today I looked at him as the Knight of Wands as, I'm hearing almost majestic. And the Knight of Wands is actually something about the Knight of Wands. I think this energy is going to calm, not just the chaos, calm anxiety, wonder. I'm even hearing addictions. Like this is something's just half written. Somebody might be coming into your life to play a part. And to me, it'd be a serious part. But right now, it's just a night. So your main focus is still you. Don't think somebody's coming in to be that person. Been there, done that. You know, if it pans out that way, beautiful. If not, so be it. Reagan had an assassination attempt. Okay. And so didn't Trump. Yeah, Trump's timeline. The Galactic changed that. They're the only ones that can. That just tells me he needs more time to get to where he needs to be for somebody else to take over. That's a given. So I think it was July, August assassination date is off the table right now. King Tut, royal kings, emperors, is definitely past life here. You know, maybe you made a promise that you would do it in this lifetime, or you do it in every lifetime. I don't know. I'm just proud of myself for getting to where I want to be in life and, you know, standing up for myself, which I always do. But the last time was pretty fucking brutal. And that was it. I really thought they were going to put me in a psych ward. I'm not lying. And then finally everybody calmed the fuck down after I had to freak out. Like, there's no changing who I am. It's just not going to happen. I don't worry about matrix shit. If I worry for, you know, good reason, not like, oh my God, I'm worried, you know. But maybe you're worried about an outcome. Maybe you're worried about X, Y, Z. I'm hearing stagnant. There's clearly a reason for that. But it's not lasting much longer. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing rest of June, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.